And welcome to the MX5 guide on Virginia North and iRacing. I want to remind you that you can find a full playlist with up-to-date MX5 guides on my channel. It's linked in the description down below. And you can also practice against my ghost car. You can find the lap files on the community Discord, which is also linked in the description, together with the telemetry on Garage 61. Position the car on the left edge of the track and hit the brakes on the halfway point between the 1 and 200 meter boards. You want to go hard on the brakes and shift all the way down into first gear. I'm using a manual blip here on my downshift into first gear to keep the car more stable on my way into the turn. A manual blip is simple. You want to give the throttle a short hard tap at the same time you are shifting down into first. Aim for a tight line as you trail brake into the turn and get back on the throttle as soon as you touch the curb. Drive all the way over to the right edge of the track and aim for a wide entry into the second turn. You want to follow a wide line and aim for this outside curb in the distance. This curb on the inside here is your marker for braking. Once you pass it and it disappears behind the A-pillar of your windscreen, you want to give the brakes a soft touch and shift down into second gear. And again, I'm using a manual blip here on my downshift into second gear to keep the car more stable. As you reach the outside curb, you want to be patient, get off the pedals and wait for the car to turn. And once the car is pointing towards the exit, you want to immediately get back on the throttle and accelerate onto the short straight. You want to use the runoff on the exit and let the car swing to the right edge of the track to prepare a wide entry into the next left-hander. Use a switch in the track surface as marker for braking, go hard on the brakes and shift all the way down into first gear. If you struggle with grip, then you can use a manual blip on your downshift into first gear again to keep the car more stable. We are heading onto a long straight, which starts around here, which is why it's important that you are early on the throttle and attack it. If you sleep around here and coast too much, then you will lose time all the way down to the next braking zone. Position the car on the left edge of the track and use the kink in the white line as marker for braking. You want to go hard on the brakes again and shift down into second gear. This entry with the transition into the slope can be a bit rough, but there's a trick which makes it easy. You want to stay away from both pedals and coast as you drive over this line. Just be patient and wait until the car settles in. And once you feel that the grip is back, you want to get back on the throttle and accelerate along the inside of the turn. For the next turn it's important that you hit a wide entry, otherwise you won't be able to take it flat out. So drive all the way to the right edge of the track and you can even clip the grass here. You won't receive an incident point as long as the center of your car stays above the track. Turn in at the end of this pathway and aim for a smooth line. Sometimes you will need to lift a bit for the upcoming right-hander, but if you hit a perfect line, then you will be able to take the whole section flat out. There are two brake markers for the next turn. You can hit the brakes shortly before the barrier on the left side disappears behind your A-pillar, or you can keep looking ahead and brake shortly before the white line, which limits the track, appears over the crest. It doesn't matter which braking point you choose, you want to go hard on the brakes and shift down into second gear. Be a bit careful on the exit and avoid the colored part of the curb. If you drive over it, it can make the car a bit unstable and cause a spin. And heading into the last turn, you want to clip this outside curb and turn the car towards the next inside curb as soon as you touch it. Attack the first inside curb and stay away from both pedals as you drive over it to keep the car more stable. Once you are back on the track, you want to give the brakes a soft touch to adjust your speed for the last right-hander. And attack the throttle as you attack the curb to push the car towards the finish line. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I wish you all the best for the next weekend. See you next time.